Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ontrack, a podcast series from the Tarmac crew. I am your host, DJ, from the Tarmac crew, and today we're going to be talking about Hot Wheels. It's a one of four-part series, and we're going to be talking about latest diecast news from Hot Wheels. We've got HW Exotics to talk about, the brand new 10 cars that they've just unveiled, and just kind of throw it there to the public for everyone to see. All right, but before we get into that as well, we have a special guest. Lucas, come in here.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here.
No problem. All right. So, one part four series, HW Exotics. We've got 10 new models that are coming out if you're watching the visual version. Just also let me know what your favorite models are from most to least favorite out of the bunch. So, we're going to start off with number one here. We have the 2017 Lamborghini Autos, which is brand new, of course. One of the three new model Hot Wheels for this year. We've had the 2014 Lamborghini Autos concept, and that wasn't really much of a bad model. Judging by the looks here, this is definitely going to be a really cool model in my opinion. Having the pictures just kind of slide showing right here. Details are pretty good. Design isn't that bad. Just for the front bumper, the yellow is kind of just different on the colors, but that's fine. And overall, they did a really good job with the design. Can't expect too much from Hot Wheels, but at the same time, they've done a nice job and execution with overall the decals and design of the 2017 Lamborghini Autos. Pretty cool. I actually do like this. Definitely anticipating this one for this new release. I'm going to say it's going to come in case P towards the end of 2020. Lucas, next model. Can you please help me with that?
Sure. So here we've got the McLaren's. I was about to say McLaren Senna, but it's clearly the Speedtail. And overall, I can see it's a picture of a Hot Wheel car. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I've only got the picture of all the 10 cars, so I don't have an actual physical picture model, if that makes any sense. Or like a real life photo of the car, so I can't really see the detail of the car. We've only got the drawn digital versions of it. But looking at it, the model looks good at the moment. Like there's no flaws to it at the moment.
You notice
Um,
the disc wheels as well on
the
that.
disc wheels, yeah, the attention to detail with the actual real life version, which is actually good. Overall, I wish we there was more pictures and you could like pan around the photo of the car. Like in this, what I'm seeing right now, I wish there was multiple photos.
Like a 3D imagery.
Yeah, you could pan around and see if they've actually made it a long tail or if it's just, if they've grabbed another base and they've made it look out of proportion. But we don't know till it actually comes out. But just seeing this photo here, that tiny photo that I'm seeing right now, it looks like a good model. Hopefully the paint's accurate to what the picture's showing. Hopefully the decal is as accurate to what the picture is showing once again. Overall, it's a massive grab for a whole bunch of Hot Wheel collectors, and for me, it's a Hot Wheel car that I want to get.
I like to mention very quickly, I do have the Tomica version of the Speedtail. The color from that is pretty close to the actual Hot Wheels one as well, but there's just slight more details than the Tomica. So for the brake strip that's actually on the back towards the end of the teardrop cabin, it is painted in red, and there's also a microscopic decal of a McLaren logo, the McLaren font logo, on the actual back of the vehicle, and the tail lights are also tampered on, which is, needless to say, it's pretty cool.
All right, you want to take it on to the next car?
Yes, we have the 2020 Koenigsegg Jesko, or Jesko, however you want to say it. First of all, the Agera R was pretty cool when it first got released under the premium lineup from Replica Entertainment from the Need for Speed movie when that came out. They had the Koenigsegg Agera R. Now, the Agera R did return this year under the Cruise Boulevard Wave 2, I believe. And didn't really expect much of it from the Koenigsegg lineup. It was just the Agera R. And all of a sudden, photos from T-Hunted, this is something to look forward to. Another Koenigsegg model, and something that nobody expected. I personally did not expect this one.
Yeah,
The
me neither.
Koenigsegg Jesko. No product photos of it just at the moment, but this is all we have to go based off on, and this is definitely going to be one to hoard off, in my opinion. Definitely excited for this one. By the looks of the wheels on the artwork, it's got the very thin chrome 5 spokes sort of design. We've seen those on previous models as well. Very cool. It's going to have that design. I'm going to say that the design of the car, it's not going to have too much details. I'm going to say the headlights will be tempered on, and probably the stripes that are on the top half of the bonnet, which kind of looks cool. I'm going to say the base is just, obviously going to be the front bumper with the splitter ears, and then you're going to have have it continuing off to the side of the car, and then as the actual back of the vehicle. So I'm going to say it's not going to have too much detail, but it's going to be enough just to be good, in my opinion. And probably the plastic inserts for the windows, they're also going to come out as louvers above the headlights. Like, I'm just going to predict the design, and That's pretty much how it's going to be. Overall, that is a mad release, and I'm definitely going to go pick up a bunch of them if I find them. That's if I do find them, because Koenigsegg seems to have a mass following in the Hot Wheels brand, and yeah, it is definitely going to be one to hunt for, and it's going to be hard, in my opinion. That's definitely going to be hard. All right, so we have 4 of 10. Before we actually get into 4 of 10, this is a replica off of the YouTube creator Tanner Fox's car. And I just want to mention that very quickly. Lucas, take it away for this one.
Alright, so we have the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, and looking at the picture, the small picture once again, it looks like a good model. And did you say that it's a replica of a YouTuber called Tanner Fox, like his Porsche?
Yes.
Um,
Well, Tanner Fox, he has a lot of. He works close with Hot Wheels, and they've also done his GTR
yeah,
Guaczilla
yeah,
as well.
I've seen that
Yeah,
one.
so they've done this one.
I personally don't like the things he like does to his cars, like the liveries he applies on them. I personally don't like them, which sort of turns me away from buying that certain model. If there's like another model from like
Yeah.
the same, just say there's another 911 GT3 RS and it's in red or blue, then yeah, I'll grab that one. But if there's only that model, I won't go out to get it. But besides that, the model looking here, my guess is that the headlights will be tempered on, the livery will be tempered on. The spoiler, I'm hoping the spoiler isn't going to be like the McLaren Senna and be a chunk of metal sticking out. Hopefully it will be plastic. I think plastic would make it seem more realistic, in my opinion, as instead of having this fat chunk of metal on the spoiler. The design on the car, the rims that are used on it, I haven't seen his car in real life, but I'm guessing that the rims, the spokes that they have on the car on this model right now is accurate to the real life one. I'm guessing the color and the actual vinyl of the actual car is as accurate to the Tanner Fox's Porsche. Overall, if I were to put this on a scale of 1 to 10, in my opinion, I'd give it like a 4. 4. Technically, yeah, there's even a scale there. It's just the car number, the actual car number is a 4 as well. But I'd actually give it a 4.
That's pretty good. You didn't.
I didn't even realize that was there too. But yeah, I'd actually give it a 4. Like, even though the car is number 4 in this whole pack. In general, if I were to give it a rating from 1 out of 10, it would be a 4. It doesn't really interest me. The model hopefully is going to be high quality, but yeah, I don't think I would get it.
I'd like to quickly say this model is already released.
Is it?
It is already. This particular casting has not changed since its first release back in 2016. You might want to change the rating to a lower number because it doesn't have a plastic spoiler. It is a metal spoiler indeed, and the headlights are not tampered on. They are actually a part of the window inserts, so they're just black clear plastic, essentially.
Oh.
Make that 2 of 10.
3. It's a 3
All
now.
right. All right.
Because personally, I prefer tempo
I
headlights.
don't mind the overall design of the casting. The livery, yeah, kind of looks odd. It's something that I wouldn't necessarily go for.
Just looking at the next car is I'm hesitating for you.
Yeah, this one's a fantasy model, 5 of 10, electro silhouette. Honestly, what is Hot Wheels doing? Doing fantasy models? Especially that's a missed opportunity. They could have gone licensing for another car and put it in there. First of all, I'm not really a fan of this. I've seen this everywhere. No one really buys them.
Nah.
It's kind of yeah. Nah, I don't really know what to say about this.
It's such a bad car. It's such a bad. Is it? I believe it's made out of plastic as well, isn't it?
No, it's a die-cast body, but the rest
thank
of it's
God.
plastic. But my favorite fantasy model from Hot Wheels is the Max Speeder. That was a pretty cool one.
Yeah. My favorite one was probably I think it was the Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger.
Or something like that. I don't really
Cloak and
remember the
Dagger
name of it.
looked horrendous in my opinion. That looked stupid. That one. It almost
Yeah,
looked like
I liked it because it was something. It looked unique, even though it looked horrendous. I personally liked it. I don't know why, it just caught my eye. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting looking model.
It was a part of the Checkmate series back in 2018.
Yeah, I know.
It's pretty weird. All right.
It was.
Next car.
Checkmate.
Take this one away.
So we've got here the 1990 Acura NSX, or the Honda NSX if you aren't American. I'm calling it a Honda. In this car, in this model, it looks good. Don't have really anything else to say. It's a JDM car. People like it.
JDM supercar essentially.
Practically, it was made to battle with the F40,
Not F40. Was it
the
F4
F50.
F? No, it wasn't meant to battle with those cars. I think it was the F355 road car. I think it
I think
was.
yeah, I think it
It's
was that
it
one.
did it did beat a Ferrari on the racetrack, and Ferrari made a new model, I believe, a new car released it, and also that NSX beat it as well. So it's kind of like crazy.
Honda Honda might have grabbed the Red Bull drinks and took some. They're like,
So very quickly, there is a racetrack on the side. I'm not too sure what that one is. It's actually a replica of a real car as well, of a real livery. But
that racetrack. Looking at it, it kind
it
of
looks
looks like Simona,
probably. I'm not too
or
sure.
what it used to be
This
called, Infiniton Raceway or something like that. But yeah, it sort of looks like that.
That's pretty interesting. I'm not too sure what that is. It's probably like probably for all we know Suzuka, but it's not. This model is already released, and there are actually close-up photos of the real production version of this car. Just kind of forgot the racetrack on this one. Yeah, yeah, it's not bad. Not a bad car. All right.
You want to take the next car over?
Yeah, for sure. We have here the Aston Martin 177. This model came out brand new in 2013, I believe, or 2011 actually. It's been around for like over 10 years now. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
as it's making its
Too many
round.
color. I'll be honest with you, this car's overused.
It's
This car is
overused. It's also because
it's
for
way
newer
overused.
collectors. When they see that, they go, "Oh my god, it's an Aston Martin 177." They're gonna take it. That's probably why too. They realize.
Yeah, the thing is, this model is cool in my opinion. It looks really cool. At the same time, I look at it close up and it just turns me off because I've just seen it too many times from Hot Wheels and I'm just not bothered collecting much more of the color variation. The worst, I'll be honest with you. Let's go off topic. The worst year model for this car when this was released as a recolor back in 2017. Oh my goodness, that was an embarrassing livery for it. It was like
What was the livery on it?
they had two different colors. I had a metallic red and a metallic blue, but they had this very weird sort of silver pinstriping that just surrounded the whole entire car. It was bad, but it was bad. It was just bad. It was funny. It was cool, but it was bad at the same time. It was just hilarious. It just overdone, but I guess
Yeah,
they've got the Vulcan now, so I guess it's okay in my opinion. I like the digital artwork. It does kind of bring me back to like this car a little bit more now, but at the same time, it's a car that I
yeah. Because the digital artworks, they sort of make it look like, oh, it's a good looking model, but then in person, it probably just like, oh, look, it's so generic. Wow, different livery. Oh, I'm gonna buy it because
you
it's a
look
new
at it and
model.
you just like you're reminded once you look at the actual production model, you're reminded of how bored you were of it.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas, take the next model we have here.
We've got the Jaguar XJ220, and it's an XJ220. What are you gonna do? What, deny it? So overall, I'm not sure if this is a re-release. Is it a re-release? You can
This
confirm
has
that.
been featured since I think the 90s, literally,
The
and then
90s.
I'm not too sure when this was first featured, but it's been like more than 10 years for sure.
That's a long run.
Yeah.
I'm picturing maybe they updated the model when the people probably requested the version with the headlights and not the pop-ups anymore. They requested the ones with the flush headlights, so they did that. Overall, just looking at it, it's got the British Racing Green on it, if that's even British Racing Green. Sometimes I forget. Yeah, it sort of has like a different. I think it is. I think it's a Jaguar Racing Green. It's got 17 on it, but overall, looking at it, it looks like a good model. It's an artwork, obviously.
Well, some of the releases of this Jaguar, sometimes they don't even paint the headlights on because the way how this Jaguar worked is that it didn't have pop-ups, but it had headlight covers that folded into the actual body of the car, revealing the headlights, and then they kind of like folded back on top.
Yeah,
Sometimes they did
yeah, yeah.
have the headlight covers on, like they didn't paint the headlights in, or sometimes they actually did paint the headlights in. I'm pretty sure the headlights are painted in now because since they've got the artwork with the headlights exposed, maybe yeah, I think the headlights will be opened, like they're exposed on the actual model itself.
Yeah, obviously it's gonna be the headlights are gonna be decals.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it was. Yeah.
I'm just hoping that the grille, the reflectors on the side of the car, and obviously the retail lights will be painted in, and they're not gonna be just slapped in. Oh yeah, he's green, because I know that
Nah,
Hot
nah.
Wheels are known to do that with some of
The
their models.
the grill would most likely be green because the design of that casting, the grill is actually a part of the Zamac body, so they're not really going to paint it. And the
But I've
turn
seen
signals
some,
or
I've seen
reflectors,
some Hot Wheel models that
yeah.
have the actual Zamac body, the actual cast of the body, they've painted off the grill off on its own. They've painted that off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Um, yeah, it's not a bad looking model. It looks like they're gonna have those same wheels as the S13, by the looks of
Yeah,
it.
it
Yeah,
does. I
looks like
think.
it does.
I
Actually,
reckon they should
they've used those wheels on the last release back, the 2019 release.
have they.
Yeah, same wheels, by the looks of it.
They're just recasting.
Wow.
They're just reusing. It's basically another. It's basically the Aston Martin 177 on steroids. It's since the 90s they've been reproducing it. Been like,
Come on, how those people who put their allocations on the XJ220 shouldn't have taken it. It was originally going to be like what, a V12 with all-wheel drive, but V6 twin turbo with rear-wheel drive. Come on, it's still a great model. It's still a
yeah.
great car.
If I were to put this on a scale, it'd be definitely a 10, even though it's been out since the 90s. Do you want to take away the last two cars since you know more about them?
Okay. Yeah, for sure. McLaren P1. Okay. Now this dates back to my early collecting years. I had no idea about the P1 being released. I found this by accident at a store and I picked it up anyway. This was since 2015. This run, so it's been around for 5 years. This model, in several colors. Been in that that what's it called, metallic orange. I don't know what they called it. They've had it in like silver. They've had it in metallic blue. They've had it in yellow. So they've had it in quite a few colors. Now this one, um, what is this? What color is this, man? What are they doing? It's like
Don't know. It looks like a pearlescent style.
it's like a two tone.
Like
It's like
it's
a
got
two.
yellow
It's
and
a
green
two
in it.
tone.
Yeah,
It's like
two tone. Yeah, not
a teal with
pearlescent.
a shine of yellow. It's like a two tone color, which is
Yeah.
you
Don't get me
not
wrong.
bad, not bad. Not
It
bad.
looks. It actually suits it. Like McLaren cars are known to suit. Like not obviously not the Senna. Like, that car I generally don't like it. But McLarens in general are known to suit practically any of the primary colors.
Yeah. If anything, this would be like an MSO color, but I doubt that is an MSO feature color.
Down it.
Yeah, the wheels look like the 10 spokes, I think. Could be the MC5s. I'm assuming that the back will have the rear light tampos and the grille and the exhaust tip tempered on, and I'm assuming the headlights will be tempered on as well because there's nothing more to it. There's no racing decals or anything like that. Definitely, will not pick this up if I find this in store. I'm not gonna really
No,
pick it up because it's not.
I would
It's nothing.
probably.
There's nothing interesting me there.
Yeah,
There is like a matte black one that they brought out, I think, and that's something I'd probably pick up because that looks mad. But this
yeah.
doesn't. This doesn't really look
Yeah,
anything.
I would pick up a new McLaren F1 because I thought it was a good idea to try and customize my one and make it into a matte black one. And then I found out that there was a matte black one. I'm like, oh,
The McLaren F1 GTR.
I'm like, I should have gotten that.
Is
But
it matte black?
no, did I say GTR? I was meant to say P1. My bad. I always say McLaren F1 GTR. I meant to say McLaren P1. My bad. My bad. Sorry to confuse you, viewers or listeners.
You confused you sure confused me. I'm like, what are you talking about F1?
My bad, my bad.
There was a
My
gloss
bad,
black
brother.
one. There was a gloss black one with the McLaren logo, sponsors and crap like that. But yeah. So that's the McLaren P1. Nothing too interesting.
Yeah, this is gonna be a grab for me because I need to get a new McLaren P1 because I ruined mine, tried to customize it, and I flopped.
That's all right. There is a matte black P1 out there, so you might be able to find it.
I might be able to, if I do.
If that's
Probably
even
not.
if it's exclusively released in Walmart, then you won't be able to find it because it's not here. All right, last car, Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. All right, this one was I think brand new for 2014. First featured in the Need for Speed, well not Need for Speed Premium series, but it was painted in the matte black with the red accenting, but it had Need for Speed sponsors on it, like on the packaging, not on the model itself. And that was a pretty good release. I gotta be honest with you, that was actually a really cool release. And then, since then, they've had so many different releases. Now that I think about it, they had matte white, they've had like a metallic teal blue with black stripes, then they've had metallic red with black stripes in their 5-pack, and they've had so many others. This one's like a gloss blue with orange accenting with the same wheels as were featured on the GMC Cyclone, I believe, in orange.
All right.
This is a super treasure hunt out of its own case as well. So there's a basic version. There's also a super treasure hunt. I might just go for the super treasure hunt if I ever somehow find one. Basic. I like this. It's good to see the Sesto return. It's not like it's definitely not overused like the 177, but this is definitely cool. Possibly not pick it up though. Probably will, but at the same time not because it's something the color doesn't really kind of spark interest. It doesn't look half bad. Can't say much about this. The headlights would probably be tampered on, the Lamborghini logo as well, and nothing for the back as usual. Yeah, well, that's it. That's all we have. The all 10 cars.
Before we finish off, overall, what would you rank all this, like all these models? What would you give it a ranking out of
So
1 to 10? All of these cars,
I
like
would.
in general, like this, like if you get what I mean, this whole exotic Hot Wheels Exotics pack, these new releases, what would you give in general this whole pack? What would you give the rating out of 10?
Well, from judging by previous years, there were some really cool models, like the McLaren Senna from 2019. 720S was from Factory Fresh, I believe, or Exotics. Vulcan, those sort of cool cars. Hmm. This is definitely by far one really good one. But I always have the same reactions of new models that come out. Like, I always love it. The Yesco, yeah, man, that's really good. The Speedtail is cool, and the Urus is very nice. I would say out of 10 for the general exotic series, I would say like 8 of 10. But then in each individual models will have a high ranking. But at the same time, I'm gonna like give it my own sort of most favorite to least favorite. So my first favorite model would have to be the Yesco. Hands down, Yesco's got to be my favorite model to ever come out from Hot Wheels. Definitely least expected. Second favorite would have to be the McLaren Speedtail. Third favorite would have to be the Urus. My fourth favorite, I would say the NSX is my fourth favorite. Fifth favorite, I would say Sesto Elemento. After that would be I'd say the Tanner Fox GT3 RS. I would say next up would have to be the McLaren P1, then the Jaguar, then the Aston Martin, and then last will have to be the Silhouette because, who likes fantasy models? So, what do you give it?
I would give it, in my opinion, just looking at the top three cars, and the top three cars are definitely like, sort of put it up there, like, oh, it's a good pack. In my opinion, I would give it like a 7.5. Overall, from
Yeah.
the Lamborghini, McLaren Speedtail, and the Ejesco, those are the three main cars that people are going to be searching for. But in my opinion, from Tanner Fox's Porsche GT3 down to the Sesto Elemento, from there, that's what sort of ruins the pack for me. So yeah, it gets a 7.5. If it had a tiny bit different variations of cars instead of grabbing the XJ220 or the Aston Martin Aston Martin 177 and repainting them, recasting them, and saying, "Oh, it's a new model in the Hot Wheels Exotics pack." I reckon if they put in new models, it would be a definite like 8 or 9 up there, or if it's really good, a 10. But yeah, it's a 7.5 or a 7 for me. If I were to rank them, it would be very similar to your one. I'll just change around a few of the cars.
Yeah, so we'll say like, of course, Yesco will be your first favorite.
Obviously, the Yesco, the Speedtail. So the Yesco is my first favorite car. The Speedtail is my second. The Lamborghini Urus my third. Then it goes into the second row. I would say Tanner Fox's Porsche to be fourth. For the Jaguar, I'll put that in fifth. The Aston Martin, I'd put that in sixth. The P1 seventh. Sesto Elemento in eighth. Acura NSX in ninth, and the Silhouette in 10th.
That's all right. All right, we both have different tastes for the below top three, but we've done the same of everything else. You know what? I can't wait for the Esco. Speed
Me
Cell.
neither.
That's a nice one.
I
The
gotta
thing is,
say, in my opinion, I don't have any
yeah,
of the top three cars. Those are definite like grabs that I'm gonna try and get if I can.
I've only got the Tomica versions of the Urus and the Speed Cell. So them from Hot Wheels, it's nothing that I would actually like. I would still be excited for them, but I'm not as excited as I would be. The Yesco is just gonna be one I'm just gonna go for. Like I'm gonna go hardball, trying to go for this one as much as I
Yeah,
just trying to buy
it's
as much
gonna
as I
be
can for this one.
very, very hard to grab the Jesco because of how like the community and the Hot Wheels community and
Yeah, especially the
Koenigsegg. It's like,
Koenigsegg. Yeah, I mean even for Matchbox they have the C8 Corvette and then they've got the Bugatti Divo, which is like wow. So you know what, 2020 isn't a bad year for Mattel, Hot Wheels, and Matchbox.
no, it isn't.
Ah, all right. So that's about it, guys. That's one of 4 episodes. Number two will come out very, very soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope me and Lucas did not bore the hell out of you, but this is a conversation. Let me know what you guys think about each of every model from your most to least favorite. All right, guys, that's about it. Thank you, Lucas, for being here today.
No worries.
All right, everyone. See you next time, and Lucas will be back as well.
All
See
right.
you next time.
Bye bye.
Peace.